It all started innocently enough, or so I thought. My wife, Claire, had a way of tossing casual comments into conversation, and usually, I brushed them off. But this one hit differently. We were sitting at dinner with friends, laughing over stories from work. I was enjoying the moment when she leaned over, smiling slyly, and said, "Oh, I might go on a little date this weekend. Nothing serious, just for fun." I froze mid-bite. A date? With whom? And more importantly, why would she casually tell me this as if it were harmless? I put my fork down, my eyes narrowing slightly. A date? I asked calmly, trying to mask the storm building inside. She laughed, thinking she was clever. "Relax, it's nothing. Just a friend. Don't be dramatic." I smiled faintly, a smile that didn't reach my eyes. "Interesting," I said. "A friend, huh?" Her smirk faltered slightly. "Yes, a friend." "You're overreacting." I nodded slowly, as if considering her words. "All right, Claire. If it's just a friend, then it shouldn't matter what I do." That weekend came. She left with her so-called friend, expecting me to sit at home, maybe feel a twinge of jealousy, but ultimately be fine. Instead, I stayed calm, planning something she would never see coming. I reached out to a few mutual friends, making sure they were aware of her little escapade. I wanted her fun outing to have a few witnesses, subtle, not obvious, but enough that the truth would surface. While she was out, I left subtle hints around the house. Messages she would find, photos of our past, reminders of promises made. Nothing overt, just gentle nudges that someone who loved her was paying attention. By evening, I prepared a small surprise in the living room. Her favorite wine, candles, and a note simply saying, "Welcome back. We need to talk." When she returned, she expected me to act oblivious. She thought her little comment had slid without consequence. I greeted her calmly. "Hey, Claire. How was your friend's company?" I asked, my tone deceptively casual. Her face shifted. She realized I knew. Her eyes darted nervously, searching for an explanation. "I had a fun time," she said quickly, trying to regain composure. "It was nothing, really. Just a chat over coffee." I poured a glass of wine, handing it to her. "Coffee with a friend, right? Interesting how much effort you put into making it sound casual." She laughed nervously. It's really nothing. You're overthinking this." I shook my head slowly, smiling faintly. "You think that little comment would slide by unnoticed? That I wouldn't notice the tone, the intention behind it?" Her smirk faded completely. "Mark, come on. You're being dramatic." I took a deep breath. "No, Claire. I'm being honest. And here's the truth. Your little fun date comment didn't fool me. And now, we need to talk about boundaries, respect, and honesty." She stumbled over her words, trying to defend herself, but I didn't let her derail the conversation. I had rehearsed my calm response all week, ensuring it was precise and impactful. Her eyes filled with a mix of guilt and fear. She realized this wasn't just a casual comment. This was a line being drawn, a boundary being set, and a lesson she wasn't ready for. I continued, "If you want to test me to see if I react, to see if I care, that stops now. We either respect each other or this ends. Simple as that." She nodded silently, her confidence shattered. The playful, teasing woman from that morning was gone, replaced by someone seeing the consequences of her behavior for the first time. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't humiliate her publicly. My calm, measured response, the savage comeback, was far more effective than any dramatic outburst could have been. She realized that actions, even words casually tossed around, have consequences. And I was no longer someone to be tested. Over the next few days, she kept her distance, reflecting on what had happened. I maintained composure, letting the weight of my response settle in her mind. By the end of the week, she apologized sincerely, acknowledging the line she had crossed. And I made it clear, Trust isn't automatic. It has to be earned. That little comment she thought would slide had backfired spectacularly. Instead of me reacting with anger or jealousy, I responded with control, strategy, and quiet authority. Sometimes the most savage response isn't shouting or drama. It's calm, precise action that leaves the other person reevaluating their choices. Claire learned that night that playing with someone's trust for fun has consequences. And I learned that silence, observation, and timing can be the most powerful tools in setting boundaries. By the time the week ended, the lesson had sunk in. She understood the weight of her words, and I had proven that testing someone's love has consequences. And for me, that night reinforced a truth I've always believed: respect and honesty are non-negotiable. I walked away from her little games, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. And in that moment, I regained control of my own life, my own dignity. Do you want me to do that version too?